Uh, I'm Dipanjan Ghosh. Today I want to discuss NEET-based NCRT discussions, NCRT-based NEET discussions of the chapter Anime Kingdom. So whenever we go through the classifications, then we have to do the classifications on the basis of patterns of arrangement of say, body symmetry, nature of serum, patterns of digestive and reproductive systems. And the questions which is very important for from anime kingdom, that is from symmetry. Basically, they have classified into three category. One is asymmetrically, that is the example is sponges. Radii symmetry, that is the CN terrains who contain the CN terrains who contain the CN terrain, that is Nidaria and Ctenophora, and here we see the radii symmetry is Echinodermata. And the anime so the bilateral symmetry, here the structure, that is the bilateral symmetry. If it is divided into the two equi halves, then it will be denoted as the bilateral symmetry. And here we see the diploblastic and triploblastic. In case of diploblastic, we see that ectoderm and endoderm is actually separated by mesoglia, and this is the triploblastic. It contains ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. And if we go through the diploblastic and triploblastic, then we see that is platyhelminthes to chordates. They all are in triploblastic anime. And here this pictorial presentation basically shows the seams. Basically, seam presents to the mesoderms. It is a body cavity. It presents to the mesoderms. That is the true seam. That is the pseudoseum, and that is the aseameta. The platyhelminthes is basically included within aseameta, we know. And we know basically the pseudoseameta is the ascihelminthes. And the seametes are basically, all are basically Aneida to chordata, Aneida, Arthropoda, Moyasca, Armata, Eurochorata, and Chordata. They all are seametes. So these three portions is very essential. That is the body symmetry, that is the triamini, that is the triploblastic, and seam. For NEET examinations. And now I come to the different phyam, that is Porifera. So we have to keep remember the major things, the major distinguishing characteristics. Basically they form the water vascular systems as they remain to the sea. And if we go through the structure, this is the ostrea, that is the and the arch cavity is the oscuum. So water basically enters through that minute pore, that is the through ostia, and it is goes out through the oscuum. So these are the examples of basically the phyam porifera. And if we go through the next, then the phyam cnitrata, basically they contain the cnteron, that is the water vascular cavity, basically odia, and they show the polyp and medusa phage. We know basically cnitrata, and phyam ctenophora. This is the pictorial representation of ctenophora. And platyhelminthes, here we have seams, that is the tinea soium and fascia hepatica. They are the platyhelminthes phyam. This is a figure of that. Then we know that is the ascihelminthes, that is the muscular pharynx presence, and we know basically the ascihelminthes roundworm basically included here. And if we go to the phyam Aneida, then we see the ring, that is the aneic structure. Basically the Nereis and Hirudinaria are to that category, Aneida. That is they contain the metamere, basically, and this is the arthropoda. So basically they contain the Mypachian tubules, the excretory organ. And we show basically in case of arthropoda, this is the largest phyam of Animalia, arthropoda. And body contain head, thorax, and abdomen. And we see that this is the prawn, examples of arthropoda. Prawn, that is the Macrobachium rosenbergi, scorpion, butterflies. So they all are examples of arthropoda. The mollusca, we know about Raduia. So the mouth contains a fire rasping organ for feeding called the Raduia, basically the Pyagobosa, and we know basically and octopus, they are basically included within that phyam mollusca. And now I come to the aspect of Echinodermata. So these animals have an endoskeleton of Cassicaris ossicaris. So basically, presence of water vascular systems also. This is the Asterias rubens. So we know basically Asterias and if we come to the next phylum, that is the Hemichordata, we know basically this is the structure of Bianoglossus. This is the head portion, this is the proboscis, coil and trunk it contain. And you know basically Hemichordata was earlier considered as a subphylum under phylum Chordata, but now it is placed in the separate phylum under non-chordate. And it is a rudimentary structure in the coil region called the stomochord, a structure similar to notochord. And if we go to the difference between chordates and non-chordates, then we see that is in case of chordates, notochord presence, non-chordates, notochord absence. And central nervous system, CNS is dorsal, hyoid and cingulate, but is in case of non-chordates, it is ventral, the CNS is ventral, solid and double. And you know basically the pharynx perforated by gauge sheaths, where here in case of non-chordates, the gauge sheaths are absence. Heart is ventral. In case of chordates, heart is dorsal. A post-ani part is present in case of chordates, but post-ani part is absent. So how by that distinguishing feature we can easily differentiate that is the chordates contain notochord, pharynx perforated by gauge sheaths. You know basically the CNS is dorsal, heart is ventral. Well, that is the distinguishing features. And we know basically the phylum Chordata is actually divided into three subphyla, that is the Eudochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. And if we go through that, and we know basically Vertebrata have been classified into two categories on the basis of jaw, that is the Agnatha and Anathostomata. Agnatha basically Cyclostomata, they basically the yak's jaw, whereas the Anathostomata is basically into two categories. We are fins and we are yms. We are fins basically the conductus ostichtis, and you know basically we are yms, there is the amphibia, reptilia, abyss and mammalia. And this is the pictorial presentation, a joyous vertebrate, that is the Petromyzon, joyous vertebrate Petromyzon, and here the picture is the Scoloidon Soracoa, we know basically. And this is the conductus ostichtis, amphibia, reptilia, abyss, mammalia, we see that is the picture. And if we go through that picture representation, then we have got a concept who contain the area of organization, that is cellular or tissue or organ system presence to the phylum. Symmetry, either radii, bilateral, or which type of symmetry. Cilium, it is presence, absence, or pseudocyamates. Segmentations, we see the segmentations in Annelida and Arthropoda basically. The digestive systems either complete or incomplete or absence. You know, in case of Porifera, the digestive system is absence. The circulatory system, basically their circulatory system is absence in case of Porifera to Aschelheimentis. But we see from Annelida to Chordata, the digestive, the circulatory system is presence. And you know basically the respiratory system is absence in case of Porifera to Annelida, but you know basically the from Arthropoda to the rest of the part, that is the Chordata, the respiratory system is presence. And distinctive features by which we can also easily differentiate Porifera, you know, the canine system is presence, the Nidaria, that is the Nidobiastasis is presence, Ctenophora complex is presence, Platyhelminthes, fat body and suckers, Aschelheimentis, worm-shaped and elongated, Annelida, that is the body is segmented, which is called the metamere, and annular ring is presence, a ring is presence. Arthropoda, the exoskeleton of Ceutocai, Mollusca, external skeleton presence, you know, Echinodermata, water vascular systems presence and radii symmetry. Hemichordata, worm-like with a proboscis, collar and trunk, and Chordata, you know, everybody know that is the notochord, dorsal hyoid nerve cord, gauge sheaths with yms or fins. So this is all about the plant kingdom. So whenever you read carefully about the different kingdom and different classes also. So thank you.